At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Oh, good morning and happy Monday, everyone. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. I know I had a very eventful one. It was nice to be out there at the conference with Mike and a lot of others out there that we support and support us. So happy to be back. And again, happy Monday. And it's not a too bad start to our week, I would say. We're not really seeing too much going on as far as a major system. We may be waking up with some clouds and mist along the coast. Nothing too impactful to start off our Monday. But that misty conditions will continue for us throughout the day until about the afternoon along the coast. Now we do have a chance for some light rain and even some drizzle out there along the coast for today, all the way in even until Wednesday, but it'll be on and off, not something that's constant, just a little bit more of that moisture kicking in for us along the coast. But we also have a warming trend to talk about. We're not seeing a big change for most of us across the area, but some 70s are possible. Can't believe we're saying 70s right before Christmas time and the winter heading into those holiday seasons. I mean, it's nice to get that little bit of a warm up. I think so. It gives us a I would say, week boost along with the coffee that we may need by the afternoon. Rain chances, they do start to return as we head into late Sunday. So a little bit of change in the pattern. We're keeping an eye on the system moving in for us as we head into late Sunday, even next week. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get closer. But those are some chances on the way. We're going to go ahead and get your Monday started for you. It is December 8th already. Are you counting down to the end of the year? Do you have any end of the year traditions? Is the elf on the shelf? Are we having countdowns to Christmas? I mean, right now, December 8th, we're counting down to the end of the year. Can't believe I'm saying that already. It's been a very eventful year, and I would say a fast one now that we're saying December 8th. Of course, when we're in February, it doesn't seem like it's going by that fast. But here we are, December 8th, waking up this morning in Eureka at 43 degrees. We're going to feel temperatures in Hoopa 43 as well. A little misty again along the coast, even reaching some of those parts inland near Willow Creek and Hoopa, and even parts of Orleans. Crescent City 51 degrees and a little bit more moisture out there. It feels a little sticky as you're stepping out, and misty in the valley in those low 40s. Still needing those jackets heading out, and Bernie bundling up. It's 29 degrees below that freezing mark. Susanville just shy of the freezing point at 31. So some chilly conditions out there in the eastern mountains. Alturas just about 25 degrees. Now by 8 o'clock, temperatures are going to fluctuate. We'll get a little bit warmer, a little bit cooler. In the valley, still around those low 40s. Fog will still be around 8 o'clock this morning in parts of Trinity County, as well as along the coast. And that's pretty much going to stick with us as we head into the later morning hours, even into the early afternoon, but we'll see some more sunshine out there, I would say, just around your lunch hour and heading home from work today if you worked at 8 to 5. We're looking at Siskiyou County, 37 degrees as you're heading out the door, just around 8, and 30 in Modoc, Eastern Mountains, just about 35 degrees. So still fairly cool out there. May need those layers heading out. Now, as far as any rain jackets, I wouldn't really say that, or any rain boots, unless you like the fashion, to each its own. They're kind of cute too. But we're looking at those rain chances mainly in Seattle and Portland. Take a look, that ridge of high pressure, that's what's keeping most of it up towards the north. And we're also going to see it build as we head further into the week. It's not close to us right now where it's minusing any chances for that light drizzle or even some rain along the coast, and even in Del Norte County where we'll see a little bit more. We'll even get some of those light showers trying to make its way in Trinity County. But looking at satellite and radar, we're not seeing any green popping up. So nothing just yet, but if you are stepping out and noticing a little bit of mist, those are those thicker clouds moving in a little bit of moisture. Now, again, we do have a chance for that light drizzle and even some rain possible, even heading into tomorrow along the coast, but on and off. And we're not looking at anything major, I would say. Just a little bit more cloud covers in the valley as well, and dealing with some patchy fog. So some of us will wake up to that fog as we're heading out. Trinidad, 58 degrees with some patchy fog for you all. 64 degrees in Willow Creek as we're stepping out for the highs today. 60s for most of us in the valley, upper 40s in Lassen Park. So chillier further off in the eastern mountains, and then we're going to feel even 50s out there in Siskiyou County for our highs today. So warming up fairly nicely. Tonight we will drop back into the low 30s in some areas. Bernie, 31 degrees, and just about 29 in Altura. So waking up to some chilly conditions, a little bit of more clouds along the coast and also in Trinity County and in the valley. We will see some patchy fog possible. Right now there isn't really any dense fog advisories, but we still could get some fog out there as you're heading throughout your morning commute. But more sunshine is on the way as we head midweek. So we have a little bit more clouds starting off this week, less clouds as we get later on into the week, and also that slight warm up I mentioned. Looking at Reading, our highs today will be about 63 degrees. By tomorrow, already feeling temperatures in those mid 60s, and then some low 70s are possible as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They're battling for those low 70s. We may reach it again. We'll keep an eye on that. But by this weekend, it's shaping up fairly nicely. And then we do have those slight chances Sunday into Monday possible for some rain chances in some areas across the region. But most of us in the valley look like we'll stay relatively dry, but we'll keep an eye on that. Upper 50s as you're heading out in Red Bluff and as well as in Chico. Some patchy fog possible until we head into about Wednesday, but then we get more sunshine later into the week. So that's pretty much a nice start as we're getting further off into the month of December, I would say, as we're starting off with a little bit of the fog and mist. It wouldn't be along the coast if we didn't have that to wake us up. I will be a little concerned if we didn't have it for a couple of days. 60 degrees as we're heading into tomorrow. So we're starting to feel those temperatures rise slightly into midweek, less clouds, partly cloudy skies, and then even temperatures get into the mid 60s inland as we get into the middle of next week. Still, again, that chance of some light drizzle in that system up towards the north as we head further into Tuesday and Wednesday. But we're not looking at a complete washout. Weaverville, upper 50s and low 60s as we get into the midweek. Some more sunshine to end off our week, so a little bit warmer as well. Mount Shasta, upper 50s today and then low 60s as we get into tomorrow and Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday looking to be one of the warmer days of the week, and Friday we're going to see more sunshine out there to end it off. Alturas, temperatures in the mid to upper 50s for us today. We're even looking at that tomorrow. Low 30s though as we've had overnight into the morning. So we'll get some clearing. So our mornings are still going to start off fairly on the chilly side, although we'll see highs in the 60s as we head into the midweek. Susanville, upper 50s and then low 60s as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, and then more sunshine as we head into Thursday and into your weekend. So shaping up fairly nice for the start of the week into the end of the week. I don't see anything too impactful that will get in your way. Let's go ahead and take a look out at Lake Oroville, North Fort Bay. We're seeing a little bit of some patchiness, I would say, out there. Main Street Chico, we're seeing somebody out there, 2 people, maybe 3, 4, depending on how many are in the car. Heading out this morning is pretty nice, as you would say, not seeing too much of that dense fog, but patchy fog is possible. There we go. I was waiting for to get a little bit of motion out there. We got more people waking up this morning. Good morning, everybody on the road out there. And if you're inside and you're heading out, it doesn't look too bad out there on Main Street Chico. You may not have to rush to work. Let's not rush. Let's plan ahead. And we're seeing more action out there on Highway 99. A little bit of patchy fog out there as you're stepping out. Some low clouds are possible kicking in on and off. You may also notice that the roads may look a little bit on the slick side at times with some of those low clouds moving in, but no rain at all out there. Sundial Bridge, not really seeing too much out there on Highway 44. And we're going to also feel temperatures in those 40s heading out in the morning. You still need those jackets if you're stepping out. It's still, I would say, on the cool side. Ball Hill West, not really seeing much. Those low clouds and even probably some patchy fog out there. We're looking at Soda Ridge, very beautiful, starting to get that sunrise on the way. Some clouds and also some clearing as you're heading out this morning. If you look further off towards, I would say, that's the left of my screen. Maybe you're right, my left. A little bit of people out there moving and grooving, winding around the roads. Take your time. It's a beautiful view as you're passing by. Fort Jones, we're seeing some of those low clouds as you're heading out this morning. And then temperatures, they are on the cool side, so you will need to bundle up in those 30s. And it's not going to be one of those days where we're going to see a lot of temperatures rise into the 60s. It's Monday. We're starting off the day, but we have something to look forward to by midweek. So what to look forward to? Not really no snow out there in Lasson Park. It's starting to see some more melt. That bench that I like to reference, we're even starting to see a little bit more of that concrete out there as you are heading out. So we're not seeing no snow today, no action for that, but I would say we're not done with winter yet. We're still in fall, technically. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a nice look from our sponsor, Grange Co-op with Turtle Bay. I hope you guys like this segment, and I'll be back in just a bit.
Hello everyone, Mike Kruger from Weather NorCal. Of course, this is Turtle Bay, wonderful world of animals. We got Sharon Clay, and we've got Whisper.
All right.
Whisper. Your name is Whisper.
You want to come down here and give her a piece of food?
A bobcat.
Reach down. There you go. Good job.
Wow, I got to feed a bobcat. Is a bobcat, right?
She is a bobcat.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sure.
So she really is an amazing hunter, right? Bobcats are. And so I'm going to call her back over and I'm going to see if she'll show you how she catches birds. Now she'll do it, but it just takes her a little bit. She's kind of slow. Watch, she'll do it real quickly just because I said that. So we can just chat about it while she's waiting. She kind of has to get into it. But they can jump like 10 feet straight up in the air. And she's been trained to do this, but after all, she is a cat. So, you know, she does it when she's ready. But she'll get it. Here, she's just getting ready.
Oh, you're getting ready.
Too excited.
And that's why you have just a big, like, the cage is surrounding even the ceiling.
That's right. She could easily get out. Here she goes.
Here we go.
Whoa! Good girl.
Are you what?
Okay, good. We can kneel down with her now for the rest of this and talk a little bit about that.
How cool was that?
Isn't that great? She can actually jump 10 feet straight in the air.
So that would be like a bird could be flying just out of nowhere and boom, gets caught?
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, occasionally little birds will get in here because it's 2-inch mesh, and she does help herself to a meal.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's your natural instinct.
She most certainly does. So these guys are amazing hunters, and the way they tend to hunt is that they are very quiet.
Yes, they whisper.
Very, very quiet. So she is going to get down really low, and she can actually take 15 minutes to move 3 feet. I don't know about you,
but because of the patience.
Yes, slow patience.
The hunting,
Can you imagine like a bowl of like your favorite dessert right there, and being like, you have to take 15 minutes to slowly get to it?
I'm imagining a bowl of ice cream right now, folks, and I want to go get it.
Right? Like impossible. I'm so impressed. And they have large feet for their body size. And that allows them also to be extremely quiet. I'm going to turn her so people can see her gorgeous face.
She is.
So they're just incredible, incredible hunters in that sense, being so patient, quiet. They are the most common wildcat here in North America, but you rarely ever see one. Have you ever seen one in the wild?
I'd have to say probably not, no. And I think that would, I mean, being in this controlled environment, I know, I don't have anything. Being in this controlled environment, I feel safe, but if I saw you in the wild, I think I'd be a little scared, even this size.
Yeah, and I can get that because she's a predator. I mean, she's a very good predator, but they're actually the most probably nervous of the cats. So they're elusive. You'll hear about people getting occasionally attacked by a mountain lion, but not a bobcat. I think I've heard one ever that's like happened.
Do they get bigger than
rare.
this?
She is about full grown for a female. Males will get about a third larger.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's about it on them, and they get the name, of course, from that little bobbed tail.
I love it. Well,
Excellent.
Thank you, Whisper. You are such an awesome, what I call it, like in the cat family?
She's a cat.
You are a kitty cat.
Yeah, she absolutely is.
Well, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Whisper, and we will see you next time on another edition of Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals.
Well, that was so nice. Whisper is funny. And I mean, when they were talking about taking 15 minutes for Whisper to go ahead and get over to her food, I could envision that. And I just think it's so cute and hilarious. I have cats of my own. And if you have cats too, you know how they like to just kind of make themselves just like they're in the wild and they're going to go ahead and get their prey. But you know what? They think that they're sneaky. A quick story to share a little bit about my cat Champ. Now, sometimes she knows that she's not supposed to go in certain areas or even sneak in certain things. She's very, very smart. But one time I was sitting on the couch and she did that little prowl, the little slow walking and the little light steps, like no one saw her. And I was looking at her out my peripheral vision, not making eye contact. And it was the funniest thing ever because she literally took about 15 minutes to get to the kitchen where she knows she's not supposed to go. And as soon as I turned around and looked at her and she felt me looking at her, then she moved really quickly. So she thought I couldn't see her, although I was right there on the couch, because she thought she was moving like Whisper, like a little just quietly moving over there, going to somewhere to try to get her prey. She probably saw something in the kitchen that she wanted, but we try to make that line clear. Don't go in the kitchen. But yeah, cats, bobcats, they're funny. Never seen one in the wild either, Mike. So, you know, we have that in common. But I don't think I'll be afraid if I did see them. I'll just, you know, honor their space and give them their time and try not to make too much contact. So very lucky to go ahead and check with that bobcat Whisper out there in the controlled environment. So a little bit of jealous. Might head out to Turtle Bay so I could get my opportunity as well. Well, this opportunity for me to be here today wouldn't be possible without Wind River Resort and Casino. We just like to thank them for being our sponsors and making this possible. And I just would like to say with Wind River Resort and Casino, we are definitely happy to always be here to provide the weather with Weather NorCal. And at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy family-friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. So thank you, Wind River, for making all of this possible. And possible for us also to see Mike play with Whisper out there. Now, if you're heading out, we are going to see temperatures in those 30s and 40s across the region, but also some clouds and misty conditions along the coast. Along the coast, we will see some of those clouds a little bit thicker, even heading into tomorrow. We get some light rain and even some drizzle possible, even making its way a little bit inland. We're not going to see a complete washout or any high accumulations of rain, but the light rain and drizzle is all due to a system that's up towards the north. But we're not going to see that major system move through. High pressure is still right over us, but we do have some warming on the way. 70s possible, and the possibility of a little bit more rain chances moving in late Sunday into Monday next week. But we will take a look at that as we head closer into the weekend. But we are going to look a little bit closer at our forecast and our deep dive. But first, take a hear from sponsor Hear It.
Frank, come help with the dishes.
What?
The dishes!
I heard it the first time. I just got back from Shasta Hearing Aids, but she doesn't know it yet. What?
Forget it.
Well, thank you, Shasta Hearing Aids. And we are going to go ahead and take a deep dive into our forecast and what we could expect heading out the door and for the rest of the week into your weekend. But first, right now, we are feeling temperatures on the cool side out there in Alturas. I would say chilly. 25 degrees. Very chilly out there. Susanville 31 along the coast, just about in the 40s in Eureka, Redway 45. Foggy start to the day. 51 degrees in Crescent City. one of the warmer spots, but that's where we have Mother Nature's blanket over the area in Delaware County a little bit more. So it is going to be slightly warmer as you're heading out for your day, but a little bit more foggier and mistier as well. 44 degrees in Weaverville, and we're feeling those low 40s in the valley as well. Wairika, 30 degrees. So good morning, everyone. If you're just tuning in, it is Monday, December 8th. Just around 6:49 a.m. We're getting our week and our day started with a little bit of those clouds. Now, the high pressure that I mentioned, it is off towards the coast and out in the open waters, but it is allowing the system to still stay relatively up towards the north. This ridge will begin to build in as we head further into midweek. But before that, we're still going to get some more clouds in the area, the possibility of some light rain and drizzle along the coast, and even the chance for some of that inland coastal drizzle and fog moving through, I would say. So the warmer conditions will be on the way, like I mentioned, by midweek. But this is what we're looking by midweek. Wednesday, December 10th, we'll still get some of those clouds. Now, along the coast, we could still see some of that mist, cloudy conditions, and even the possibility of a light drizzle, even inland areas. But most of that system is staying up towards the north. If you have any travel plans, keep in mind, Seattle's going to get most of it, and most of the heavier rain, and even near Portland. But look as we head further into Wednesday evening. The ridge starts to build a little bit more, and that means overnight into Thursday morning, temperatures are going to be a little bit more on the cooler side. Now, since we did get some of that moisture moving in, Thursday morning we could wake up to some patchy fog, even some patchy frost in areas near the eastern mountains. Once we head into Thursday, we start to get a little bit more sunshine. Now, by Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures will warm up. We'll be a little bit above average, and we'll start to feel temperatures get into those mid to upper 60s and even some 70s possible in the valley. And we'll start to see more of those clouds continue to kick off towards the west. So not seeing too much of the cloud cover. If you want some sunshine by Thursday, Friday, we'll get a little bit more of it as that ridge continues to build. But moisture will begin to move in as we head into the weekend. Still staying dry though as we get into Thursday, Friday. Saturday is when we can start to get a little bit of those misty conditions heading back into the area along the coast, and more clouds begin to move in. Still some sunshine is possible on Saturday with partly cloudy skies, but take a look. Another system is up towards Seattle and Portland, and we get a little clip of it as well. Not looking at a major washout or anything, but notice we do have this system off towards the west in the open waters, making its way in, and we're going to start to keep an eye on that as we get into Sunday and even next week. Now, it's not looking like anything that we're seeing as of right now. That ridge is still a little bit over, it's a little weaker, but we do have a chance of a light drizzle possible along the coast as we head Sunday evening into Monday. But that's a little bit further out, so we'll continue to watch and monitor as we head further into our next week plans. But notice that we are getting some more moisture kicking in. Temperatures will also fall as we get into the weekend. So those 70s won't stick around for long, or even those upper 60s. By the weekend, we'll start to get back into those lower 60s, a little bit around average for this time of the year. Wave height's not too bad, still a little bit on the high side in areas near Crescent City and also near Klamath, and further down near areas into by Redway and along the Shelter Cove coast. We're looking at the winds just about 5 to 10 knots, so fairly calm. No small craft advisory today for our marine forecast. Just a little foggy, misty, and a little bit of a light drizzle is possible. High tide moves in just around 1:54 this afternoon. We did have a high tide overnight, but now our next one heads into the afternoon, and then low tide again just around 8:50 this evening. We're not really seeing any major concerns along the coast, so our marine forecast looks fairly nice today. Just have to contend with a little bit of that mist and fog. Our neighborhood forecast, sponsored by Dignity Health. We're going to look at all of the changes that we could see as we're heading around Trinity County for today, and even heading into the midweek, as I mentioned, warming up, but more clouds for us today, tomorrow, into Wednesday, more sunshine into Thursday, Friday, into the weekend. But take a look at those temperatures. We're going to feel temperatures warm up into those mid to upper 60s. Now, all of us won't reach those mid to upper 60s, but we'll start to feel temperatures warm up. Low 60s today in Hayfork, 62 tomorrow, and then we'll start to see more sunshine by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Upper 60s, even some low 70s are possible. Along the coast, foggy conditions for us and misty conditions. Highs today in Redway, 65 degrees, 65 on Thursday, but less fog, more sunshine, and low 60s into the weekend. Ferndale, 58 degrees for the high. Fortuna, 59 degrees, little misty and foggy for y'all out there. And Rio Dale, just about 57 degrees. Low 60s once we get into Wednesday and Thursday. So we're warming up again, not a drastic warm up, but we are warming up as we head into the midweek, even for us along the coast. 62 degrees, Hoopa, inland, some morning fog. And this is what I mean when I mentioned that we could get a little bit of the clipping, a little inland far as any rain chances tomorrow and Wednesday. But by Thursday, more sunshine, and then temperatures in those upper 60s. Winds not too bad, fairly on the calm side, a little breezy at times, but a light breeze. We're not looking at gusty winds. Crescent City, temperatures in the upper 50s, a little bit more of those rain chances heading into later today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. That's where we'll see most of the chances near Smith River, Gasky, Crescent City, and possibly even Klamath, more or less Delnor County, with that system up towards the north as far as rain chances go. Low 60s and sunshine by Thursday, and warming up, I would say, even areas in Wairika. Low 50s today. By midweek, we get into the upper 50s. Overnight lows, once we start to get a little bit of less clouds and those clearing, we do drop back below that freezing mark in low 50s by the weekend. Scott Valley, we're going to feel temperatures in the upper 50s, 59 degrees by tomorrow, and even by Thursday. But overnight into the weekend, we're going to see a little bit more clearing, so some chillier starts starting off your Saturday morning. In Mount Shasta, temperatures today, upper 50s, low 60s into the week. So we are going to notice a little bit more of those clouds. By Wednesday, Thursday, more sunshine. Once we get that ridge really building over us in warmer conditions, more sunshine is on the way as those clouds start to push out. Out to Uraz, when we see less clouds, it's going to get more on the chillier side overnight. So notice once we head into Tuesday, overnight lows into Wednesday, we're just at that freezing mark, just around 32 degrees. But we will have a little bit more of those clouds out there. Once we get a little bit more of the clearing, we drop below that freezing mark. But highs, not too bad. We will warm up into the low 60s and even upper 50s by the weekend. We're just starting off on the chilly side and warming up fairly nicely. Bernie, 54 degrees. Overnight lows get into those low 30s. We get into the low 60s by Wednesday, Thursday, more sunshine into your weekend. Lassen Park, low 30s starting off the morning. Highs only reaching into the mid 40s. Then we get into the 50s as we get into Thursday and Friday. One of the warmer days of the week, but 40s will return by the weekend. Wind staying fairly on the calm side in Chester as well. Mid to upper 50s, just about 58 degrees. So we head into tomorrow, low 60s. So we will feel that slight warm up, about 5 degrees out there. Now, the eastern mountains will feel temperatures get into the mid 60s in Paradise for some of us across the area by Wednesday and Thursday, but generally in Paradise, low 60s. More sunshine, though, on Thursday and Friday. Susanville, upper 50s and low 60s, 63 degrees as we head into Wednesday. We can get a little bit more of those clouds in Susanville by Tuesday and Wednesday, but we'll see more sunshine getting into Thursday. And that's just from their system that's up towards the north. We may get a little bit of clip of it as it started to pass by, and that ridge of high pressure starts to move over us. We'll start to see a little bit more of that sunshine. We're looking in Oroville. We can see some of the patchy fog still as we're heading throughout our day in the morning, but not really seeing any of those dense fog advisories. Tuesday, a little bit more clouds, upper 50s, and then we get into the low 60s once we head into the middle of the week. So I feel that we're all just warming up and going back to about average. When we say a little bit above average, at least we're not talking about 10 to 20 degrees. I mean, some may like it, but I think 60s are nice. We're looking at upper 50s for us today, even tomorrow, with those low 60s as we get into the midweek with some sunshine into your weekend. Not too bad out there, not really contending with those dense fog advisories again in Chico, but some patchy fog is possible. Red Bluff, highs in the upper 50s, low 60s once we head into tomorrow. But take a look at Wednesday. That's when we start to get into those mid upper 60s, even some low 70s are possible. Those low 60s will return as we get into the weekend. So those 70s, they won't stick around for long. Upper 60s won't stick around for long as we get into the weekend. but they'll hang around for us, especially in Redding. We're going to see them hang around a little bit longer. 63 degrees as we're heading out today. We'll jump to 65 tomorrow. A little less cloud cover by Wednesday, and we are going to feel temperatures in those 70s, low 70s across the area, even some upper 60s as we continue into Thursday and Friday. So they're battling to stay in the 70s, but look at all that sunshine that we will get getting into Friday and even into our weekend. So shaping up fairly nice. Again, we have that system that we'll be monitoring heading into Sunday, but most of us will just really stay relatively dry out there in the valley. Taking a look out at Soda Ridge, beautiful sunrise on the way, and waking us up, we are just going to enjoy the chance to see some more of that sun out there. Feeling temperatures though on the cool side, we got 30s and 40s. So though we got sun, it's still fairly on the chilly side once you are heading out. Well, I'm so happy to be with you all again here on this Monday, and to start off your week, looking out at Lake Oroville, we're seeing a little bit of some patchiness, we would say, or the clouds are kind of getting in the way of that. But here we go, Lake Oroville, North Fork Bay. We can see the lake out there with the sun starting to come up, giving us a little bit more light as you're heading out throughout your day. In Chico, we're getting that sunrise, and it is going to be a nice start to our week. Well, I will see you all later, and Mike will be back with you all tomorrow. Good morning out there in Chico, and I am just going to leave you all with a little bit more of these beautiful views and some traffic cameras to get you all started for your Monday morning. Have a great day.